The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and Gallery, please rise for the invocation which will be offered by Pastor Bill Coffey of Pinecrest Baptist Church in Silsbee, sponsored by the Honorable Janice Holt of Hardin County.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Let's pray. I want to begin today by reading the model prayer that the Lord Jesus Christ gave his disciples and to us, Matthew 6:9-13. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Our Father, we stand humbly before you on this 25th day of March, a day you created for us to rejoice and to be glad in it. May it be our desire to exalt your holy name. We acknowledge that you and you alone are the one true God. We pray today that we would express gratitude for everything that you provided for us as individuals, our families, and for this great state we call Texas, and certainly America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Before this session begins today, I specifically ask you to bestow wisdom and discernment upon every elected official in this room. Many issues and decisions are placed before them, and I pray you give each person strength and courage to make wise decisions regardless of their political affiliation. May they endorse those issues that are in the best interests of our state and its citizens. May they also have the courage to oppose those things that are not in the best interests of our state and its citizens. May you also grant each one wisdom to know the difference. Help each one to know the mind and the will of God on the various issues that they review and vote on. I also ask that you bless their families in a unique and special way. When they look upon these blessings, may they immediately know where those blessings come from. May you watch over and protect their spouses, their children, their grandchildren, as they sacrifice their time away from their families. And Lord, I ask all these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
The chair now recognizes the Honorable Janice Holt of Hardin County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flag.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members and guests in the gallery, please join me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the flag of the great state of Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The chair will now hear excuses for absent members. Please excuse Mr. Harris because of important business in the district on motion of Mr. Hefner. Please excuse Ms. Flores because of important business on motion of Ms. Mesa. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Is so ordered. The chair is pleased to recognize Dr. Stephen Ramirez from Round Rock as Doctor of the Day. Members, join me in welcoming our Doctor of the Day.
Mr. Speaker,
Ms. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
please admit the messenger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measures. SB 57, Zaffarini, relating to provisions and plans by public schools to ensure the safety...
The chair announces the signing of the following in the presence of the House.
HCR number 20, HCR number 21, HCR number 22, HCR number 23, HCR number 24, HCR number 25, HCR number 26, HCR number 27, HCR number 28, HCR number 30, HCR number 31, HCR number 32, HCR number 41, HCR number 42, HCR number 43, HCR number 44, HCR number 45, HCR number 49, HCR number 52, HCR number 53, HCR number 67, and HCR number 73.
Mr. Guerin moves to defer the reading and referral bills to the end of today's business. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and it's so ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Patterson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move to set a congratulatory memorial resolution calendar for 9 a.m. Friday, March 28th.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Patterson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the House grant permission for all committees and subcommittees to meet while the House is in session pursuant to their committee postings or recess motions. For purposes of this motion, committees and subcommittees scheduled to meet or reconvene today upon final adjournment or recess or during bill referral permission is granted are authorized to convene upon adoption by the House of today's adjournment motion.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. All right. Members, over the weekend we celebrated Jean Woo's birthday. Members, join me in wishing Representative Jean Woo a happy birthday. Members, please take your seats. We have a memorial recognition. The chair recognizes Representative Guerin for memorial recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This has been a sad week. We lost one of our parking guards, Rick Robinson. Rick worked here on the northwest side of the Capitol. He worked for the House for over 14 years. He was a veteran and retired postal worker. Would you please join me in a moment of silence?
Members, please rise and join us in a moment of silence.
Thank you, members.
The chair recognizes Mr. Paul for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 508.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 508 by Paul, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as Space Day at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Paul to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it's a great honor to rise today and talk about the great achievements that the state of Texas has played in the field of space. Today is Space Day at the Texas State Capitol, a moment to celebrate Texas' leadership in space exploration. In 1969, mankind took its first steps on the moon, and the first word spoken from the moon to the earth was Houston. From that moment, Texas has forever been linked to humanity's greatest adventures beyond Earth. For decades, Texas has been a part of the heart and soul of space exploration. From the Apollo moon landing for today's Artemis program, NASA's Johnson Space Center has been in mission control for every U.S. human space flight since Gemini. Today, Texas is home to over 2,000 aerospace, aviation, and defense businesses with commercial spaceports in Houston, the first, Midland, McGregor, Van Horn, and Boca Chica, making it a hub for space innovation. The space industry contributes $11 billion to the Texas economy annually and supports 145,000 jobs across the state. 18 of the world's top 20 aerospace companies have a presence in Texas, cementing our undeniable role in the global space economy. NASA invests more than $2.5 billion in Texas each year, employs 10,000 Texans, engages students, and thousands of STEM initiatives. The Texas Space Commission, established by this body in 2023, divides commercial aerospace growth, while initiatives like the Texas Aerospace Research and Space Economy Consortium are further future of space. Texas-based companies like SpaceX, Firefly Aerospace, Intuitive Machines are leading in lunar exploration and commercial spaceflight. On March 25th, 2025, we celebrate Texas Space Day. And like I always like to say, folks, we know that Houston is Space City. We want to make sure that Texas is known as the space state. Only one state has had two companies send vehicles to the earth, and they're both from Texas. So thank you all that, Mr. Speaker, members. I move passage. Unless y'all want to say anything.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. It's so adopted. Representative Perez moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair is none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Noble for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 601.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 601 by Noble, congratulating the Plano East High School boys basketball team on winning the 2024 UIL 6A state championship.
Chair recognizes Ms. Noble to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we recognize the mighty Plano East Panther basketball team for winning the 6A 2024 state championship. On the dais, I have Coach Matt Webster, Plano ISD Athletic Director Coach Lonnie Jordan, and Chief of Staff for Plano ISD, Danny Stockton. Coach Webster led the Panthers to their first state championship in Plano East high school history. Listen to this. This is really interesting. They are the first team to become undefeated state champions with a 40-0 finish. Coach Webster was honored by Max Preps National as the 23-24 Coach of the Year. Members, please join me in congratulating the players, most of whom are now playing college basketball. Coach Webster and the entire Plano East student body, parents, and fans on their historic win. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move passage.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there objection? Chair is none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Plessa moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there objection? Chair is none. So adopted.
The chair recognizes Mr. Dean for floor recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Today I want to recognize the family behind Finn's Friend, a nonprofit organization in Longview that brings awareness to families affected by Duchenne muscular dystrophy. On the dais is Finn, whose the organization is named after, along with his parents, Paula and Dan Florzowski. Finn's Friend was created in 2020 after Finn was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The organization is committed to supporting research that extends and enhances the lives of those with this diagnosis. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize Finn and his family, and today on the dais, thank you, Ms. Speaker and friends. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Allen for recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Speaker and members, it is my great pleasure to welcome the congregation of Brentwood Baptist Church to the Texas State Capitol. Stand up, Brentwood. That's my church. Brentwood was founded in 1965. Brentwood Baptist Church has served as a pillar of faith in Houston for nearly 6 decades. For more than 40 years, the Reverend Dr. Joe Samuel Ratliff has shepherded this congregation with unwavering dedication, along with his wife, First Lady Doris Ernestine Gardner Ratliff. It is with a great honor that I, along with my colleagues, extend our deepest appreciation to Brentwood Baptist Church. And may this visit to the Capitol be a memorable occasion. I want to thank you for coming today, and I certainly hope you enjoyed yourself. I'd like to take a personal privilege and recognize Reverend Carolyn Pickens. Carolyn, hold your hand up. I want to recognize her. She's leading the group today with the pastor. So let me say thank you for coming and enjoy your ride home. Thank you for coming to your house. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Kerwin for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to suspend all necessary rules.
Take up Resolution 55-1.
Take up Resolution 551.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
HR number 551 by Kerwin, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as Johnson County Day at the State Capitol.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today is Johnson County Day, located in north central Texas on the southwestern edge of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Johnson County covers approximately 740 square miles. Johnson County was named in honor of Middleton T. Johnson, a veteran of the Mexican War, a frontiersman, and a legislator. During its early years, the county's economy was driven by agriculture, corn, cotton, and livestock production. In the mid to late 1800s, several rail lines were built through the region, and in 1898, the Santa Fe Railroad established maintenance shops in the county seat of Cleburne. Johnson County boasts a number of attractions, including Cleburne State Park, Ham Creek Park, the Cleburne Railroad Museum, and the Mansfield Historic Museum. Higher education institutions in the region include Southwestern Adventist University and Hill College. The House of Representatives of the 89th Texas Legislature hereby recognizes March 25th, 2025 as Johnson County Day. If you would all stand up so we can recognize you. Thank you. Have a safe trip home.
Great job, Alan.
Move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Ms. Luther for a motion.
You're after me. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 521.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 521 by Luther, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as Sheriff's Association of Texas Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Ms. Luther to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today I'm excited to recognize the Sheriff's Association of Texas for their support and advocacy for our county law enforcement. SAT was founded in August of 1874 and just celebrated its 150th anniversary, making it one of the oldest law enforcement associations in the country. Our sheriffs are charged with conserving peace and enforcing the criminal laws of this state and are responsible for overseeing our county jails, bail bonds, civil process, and the security of the courts. In smaller counties, sheriffs may also act as a tax collector. The Sheriff's Association of Texas represents sheriffs in all 254 Texas counties and stands with them as they faithfully serve our communities, often at great danger to themselves. Today, I want to thank the men and women of the Sheriff's Association of Texas for working to make the Lone Star State an even safer place for all Texans. At this time, I ask our sheriffs and members of SAT who are here in the gallery today to please stand so we can all recognize you. I want to give a special welcome to my HD 62 sheriffs who are here today. Sheriff Ricky Jones. Is he here? There he is. And from Franklin County, also Sheriff Cody Shook. I'm going to give you the go. Where's Lulani? Where did he? Oh.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lalani to speak on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, members. Thank you, Rep, for giving us the chance. Today, as we are celebrating the Sheriff Association of Texas Day here at the Capitol, I want to take a brief moment and to recognize an exceptional leader from my home county, Fort Bend County Sheriff Eric Fagan, who joins us here today. Under Sheriff Fagan's leadership, Fort Bend County has seen remarkable achievements. His efforts have not only made our county safer, but have truly set the standard for law enforcement excellence across Texas. Sheriff Fagan, we are honored by your service. Welcome to your capital. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Louderback to speak on the resolution.
Sheriffs, I want you to know that down here on the House floor, I'm not permitted to wear a hat. I'll put it on right now real quick. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Mr. Verdell to speak on the resolution.
Thank you, Speaker. I wanted to also say thank you to Bandera County Sheriff Josh Teague, Crane County Sheriff Andrew Aguilar, and Mason County Sheriff Joe Lancaster for coming to the Capitol today. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you all for your service and for advocating for county law enforcement here today. I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted.
Thanks.
Ms. Holt moves to add all names to the resolution. Is there objection? The chair hears none. All names are admitted to the resolution.
But kiosk
This one? The chair recognizes Mr. Tinderholt for a motion.
Madam Speaker, can you gavel, please?
Members, please take your conversations outside the rails.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider H.R. 565 for the Medal of Honor Museum.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 565 by Tinderholt, commemorating the opening of the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington.
The chair recognizes Mr. Tinderholt to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'm honored to do this today, and just know that the Medal of Honor recipients and the people that run the museum will be here at a later date to be recognized. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, H.R. 565 commemorates the opening of the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington, Texas, March 25th of 2025. This museum honors courageous men and women who've received the Medal of Honor, the highest military decoration in our nation. The Medal of Honor has been awarded to fewer than 4,000 individuals, each displaying exceptional bravery and service to our country. Something off script I'd like to mention is that when you congratulate them for this, they say it's not their medal, it's the medal of the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Navy members that served with them. They're very, very, very honorable people. I'd like to recognize the 9 living Medal of Honor recipients who we hope to get to the Capitol, who make Texas their home. Patrick Brady, Florent Groberg, Saul Gienta, Michael Thornton, Jose Rodela, Ty Carter, James Fleming, Dakota Meyer, and Robert O'Malley. These individuals represent the very best of Texas and our great nation. The opening of the National Medal of Honor Museum is a significant milestone, offering visitors the opportunity to learn about the history of the Medal of Honor and the valor of its recipients. It will serve as a lasting tribute to their sacrifice and courage. Please join me in honoring the legacy and tradition of American sacrifice for freedom. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Adam, you. Mr. Queenie moves to add all names. Do I hear any objection? The chair hears none. So ordered. Is it a different script or the same script? The chair recognizes Mr. Patterson for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 656.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 656 by Patterson, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as Texas Humane Legislation Network Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Patterson to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today is Texas Humane Day at the Capitol, and we are so excited to have so many of our friends here. If you would please stand. THLN is the group, and they continue to fight to protect pets by focusing on issues like animal cruelty, and I look forward to working with them again this session, as I have in the past. From Denton County and HD 106, I would like to welcome Lisa and Abby Allison, James and Arda Widman from the Frisco Pet Project, Mark Cooper, the Director of Animal Services for the Colony, and Friends of the Colony Animal Shelter board members Shannon Greer and Phil Collins, and all their friends. Thank you all so much for visiting your Texas Capitol today. Move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Oliverson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 58.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 58 by Oliverson, recognizing March 2025 as Kidney Month.
The chair recognizes Mr. Oliverson to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. H.R. 58 recognizes March as Kidney Month, a dedicated time to raise public awareness about kidney health, the significance of early detection, and ways to prevent kidney disease. This month highlights the impact kidney disease has on millions of individuals and families nationwide and underscores the critical need for education, research, and advocacy to improve patient outcomes. Today, we'd like to welcome 3 patient advocates from the American Kidney Fund who join us in the gallery: Ronnie Barron, Michelle Osuna, and Ariel Brigham. If you could please stand and be recognized. Welcome to your state capitol. Thank you all for being here today. Recognizing Kidney Month encourages awareness, early detection, and policies to improve care and research. I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 58 and stand with those affected by kidney disease. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Mr. Oliverson for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members in the gallery today, I want to point out that my mother, Sandra Oliverson, is here celebrating her 84th birthday with her husband, Ray, and their friends. Members, if you could just please join me in welcoming my mother, Sandra Oliverson, to the Capitol. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lalani for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 602.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the rules are suspended. The following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 602 by Lalani, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as DESI Day of Action at the State Capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lalani to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, as the co-chair of the Texas House AAPI caucus and one of the first South Asian elected, it is my honor to present House Resolution 602, recognizing March 25th, 2025 as a DESI Day of Action at the Texas State Capitol. The word Desi derives from a Sanskrit word Desh, meaning the country, and is embraced among individuals of South Asian heritage, especially those living outside their ancestral homelands. This vibrant community spans numerous nations, including Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Afghanistan, in addition to others, and speaking hundreds of languages and dialects. Today, South Asians are the fastest growing minority population in Texas. with over 800,000 residents enriching our state economic landscape. They are business owners, entrepreneurs, educators, scientists, professionals, public servants, and community leaders, all working to build stronger, more prosperous Texas. Beyond economic contribution, South Asian Texans enrich our cultural life through celebrations like Diwali, Eid, fostering greater understanding and inclusivity. They are deeply committed to civic engagement, advocating for policy changes to strengthen our democracy. Joining us in the gallery today are the members of the South Asian community engaged in this important advocacy work. Members from Save Texas, Indian American Impact, Riaz Kawali, IACCT, Wuti Hunters, Asian Texans for Justice, South Asian Impact Foundation. Thank you. By adopting this H.R. 602, we are celebrating the extraordinary contribution of South Asian Texans and reaffirm our commitment to Texas to build more diversity, innovation, and inclusion.
The chair recognizes Mr. Bojani to speak on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'm so grateful to recognize Desi Day at the Capitol to celebrate the cultural heritage, contributions, and civic engagement of Desi communities from across our state of Texas. Today, the Desi community is here. And here with us today are community leaders and representatives from Save Texas Educational Fund, Indian American Coalition of Central Texas, Riaz Kawali, and Indian American Impact. As one of the only two Desis serving in the Texas legislature, it is an honor to have you all at your Texas Capitol. For those that don't know, the term Desi refers to a person of South Asian descent. In Texas, Desi communities contribute significantly to our state's cultural and economic tapestry. On this day, let's recognize the impact Desis have made in Texas. Over the past few years, our communities have faced increasing rates of violence and hate on a personal and political scale. But there's a silver lining in even the darkest of the clouds. There has been a massive increase in civic engagement, participation at the Capitol, and in our local elections. This day serves as a reminder for us as legislators to ensure that we represent all communities, all constituents, including Desis, and as a reminder for our community to be actively involved in our local governments and ensure our voices are heard. Thank you, members and Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Ms. Jones to speak on the resolution.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to your state capitol. So I want to say this, Texas is as great as its diversity. And I am proud to say that when I was on city council, a part of Southwest Houston that had been dilapidated was revitalized due to the South Asian community, which is why we named that part of Houston the Mahatma Gandhi District. That's important. I also happen to be the proudest glam mother of a glam daughter, not grand, glam daughter. My son's wife is from India. And what I learned when my son and my daughter-in-law got together is I got to learn about Malayalam, which I didn't know, which they speak, and to be able to see my glam daughter be introduced to American culture, and specifically Indian, but Desi culture is very, very, very important. And I would encourage everyone to go out and meet somebody who doesn't look like you and who doesn't come from a place like you. And that's what makes Texas great. And that's why I'm glad to see you here participating and watching what we do, because we represent you too. So thank you so very much.
The chair recognizes Mr. Wu to speak on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, members. I'm joining up here to remind everyone to be as proud of the DESI community as we are of them, because simply, if it was not for their diligent and quiet work and hard work all the time, the state of Texas would not be nearly as successful as we are. From everywhere, from the energy sector to the medical sector to oil and gas to NASA, everything. We have the DESI community to thank for being a part of it and to be incredible partners in it. And I've told you before that the Asian community is the fastest growing community in America. Well, the DESI community is the fastest growing part of the fastest growing part. And so we want to celebrate with them and remind you all that when they have holidays like Eid or Diwali, please join and celebrate. I promise you, they have amazing food. Thank you. Thank you all.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lalani.
To all my Desi friends, Khush Ahmadid, Swagat, आपके अपने capital में. Madam Speaker, I move for adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Ms. Palesa moves to add all names to the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and so be it. The chair recognizes Mr. McQueenie for a recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, with us today in the gallery are members of the TCU Student Government Association. The TCU Student Government Association represents collective voice for the student body while encompassing the spirit of TCU's community through service, programming, and legislation. SGA has been active at TCU since the 1910s. Student government impacts student life, and their work is certainly noticed on campus. Current projects include bringing back the homecoming parade, working with the faculty senate to decrease grade turnaround time, and adding Narcan kits to all buildings on campus. Really significant things. Members of the TCU Student Government Association, please stand to be recognized. Welcome to your state capitol, and go Frogs.
The chair recognizes Mr. Olcott for a recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, members. We have some special guests up here in the gallery wanted to call out. If you all will stand up, they're from Weatherford ISD and Aledo ISD. They're here for Parker County Day. But maybe more importantly, we're here to recognize some outstanding achievement from the Career and Technology Education Program. They've been given some distinction awards, like it's a very prestigious award. And so I'm really happy to recognize you all. Welcome to your house. And I understand that these programs are a great program for you to have like a stepping stone to have some very successful careers, which is what it's all about. So thank you for coming, and welcome to your house.
The chair recognizes Mr. Curry for a recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I am pleased to welcome to their Texas House the valued members of the Waco Independent School District community. Please stand up. Everybody recognize the Waco ISD. Stand up here. We've got Superintendent Tiffany Spicer. We have Waco ISD School Board Secretary Trustee Jeremy Davis, the tall guy up there. Waco ISD School Board Member Trustee Jim Patton, the guy in the white shirt. University High School seniors Stephanie Rodriguez Picasso and Osmar Cazares. We also have Waco High juniors Giselle Sanchez and Juan Guevara. And these administrators and students have been here learning about the legislative process, touring the building, and advocating for issues important to our district. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for representing HD 56 so well, and thank you for being so honest with us about your needs and what we can do to help you, and being open to discussion both ways. So we love y'all very much, and we appreciate you being here. Representative Orr? Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The chair recognizes Mr. Lopez Zaber for an announcement or recognition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today I rise in recognition of the Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce who are joining us in the House today. Would you guys stand up? There they are. And there's a bunch of them. I think most of them were in my office earlier today. The Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce is a coalition representing LGBTQ-owned and allied businesses across the state of Texas. Their businesses are a vital part of our state's economy, creating jobs, fostering innovation, and strengthening our communities. As a collective, these businesses contribute significantly to Texas's economic landscape, reinforcing our state's reputation as a place for all to do business. Beyond Texas, the economic influence of the LGBTQ business community is undeniable. Nationwide, LGBTQ owned businesses contribute nearly $1 trillion with a T, $1 trillion in economic impact, demonstrating the immense buying power and economic influence. The Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce plays a key role in ensuring that this economic power is recognized and leveraged to benefit businesses of all sizes. Their work is not defined by their sexuality, but by their contributions. It's an economic opportunity and entrepreneurship in ensuring that every business owner has access to the resources that they need to succeed. Please join me in welcoming the Texas LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce to your House. Welcome. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Ms. Garcia of Bayer for recognition.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Speaker. I'm standing here on behalf of Representative Ron Reynolds as I rise to recognize and honor the outstanding contributions of Houston's minority suppliers. These businesses play a vital role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating opportunities that strengthen our communities across the state. Their resilience and commitment to excellence exemplifies the spirit of entrepreneurship in Texas, as I'm proud to acknowledge their impact on both Houston and the state of Texas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members, please welcome the Houston minority suppliers to their Texas House.
Members, the speaker's desk is clear except for bill referrals. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. Mr. Moody moves that the House adjourn, pending the reading and referral of bills until 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned, pending the reading and referral of bills. The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral to committee, the clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 3551 by Cunningham relating to school district students' reentry to regular education environment for an alternative educational program, including parental rights related to that reentry, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3552 by Hefner relating to criminal conduct involving theft of unauthorized possession of copper or brass to the sale of copper or brass materials to the metal recycling entities, creating criminal offenses, providing an administrative penalty, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3553 by Spiller relating to the use of deadly force and defense of property, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3554 by Simmons relating to the establishment of Texas Rare Disease Advisory Council, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 3555 by Guerra relating to the establishment of donation registry by the Department of Family and Protective Services, providing personal items to children in the department's conservatorship, refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 3556 by Vasut relating to certain structures located near a national wildlife refuge, refer to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 3557 by Raymond relating to the exclusion from the market value of real property for ad valorem tax purposes of the value of any incomplete structure located on the property, refer to the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. HB 3558 by Allen relating to certain provisions required to be included in teacher employment contracts, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3559 by Tinderholt relating to prohibiting consideration of certain factors regarding student financial assistance by public institutions of higher education, refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 3560 by Pearson relating to the criminal background check requirements for staff at certain licensed hospitals, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 3561 by Berry relating to the emergency services requirements for certain plots or tracts of lands in the unincorporated area of certain counties, refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 3562 by Perez of El Paso relating to the posting and other requirements applicable to the meetings of the governing body of a hospital district, for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 3563 by Paul relating to the method used to select engineers and general contractors for certain transportation-related construction projects, for the Committee on Transportation. HB 3564 by Bo relating to the collection and reporting of data regarding race and ethnicity by the Texas Education Agency, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3565 by Cook relating to increasing the criminal penalty for the offense of interference with public duties, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3566 by Flores relating to the frequency of a county bail bond board meetings, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3567 by Frank relating to the authorizing certain counties to impose a hotel occupancy tax and the use of revenue from that tax, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3568 by Harris Davila relating to the interconnection of wind or solar power facilities that use critical electric grid equipment purchased from certain companies, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3569 by Berry relating to certain contract refusals, terminations, and suspensions of licensed insurance agents by a property and casualty insurer, part of the Committee on Insurance. HB 3570 by Lujan relating to the terms of members of a Board of Trustees of Military Reservation School District, part of the Committee on Public Education. HB 3571 by Jones of Harris relating to the requirements for judicial action of which a candidate's eligibility is an issue, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 3572 by Guillen relating to municipal zoning regulations and district boundaries, refer to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 3573 by McLaughlin relating to certain prohibited considerations of contracting by governmental entities and the elimination of the state's historically underutilized business programs, for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3574 by Smithy relating to the maximum number of non-resident scholarship students permitted to pay resident tuition and for a certain public institution of higher education, for the Committee on Higher Education. HB 3575 by Noble relating to filing the campaign treasurer appointment and the application for a place on the ballot by a candidate in the board of directors of an appraisal district, for the Subcommittee on Tax Appraisals. HB 3576 by Gonzalez of Dallas relating to the installation of Texas Department of Transportation of highway signs for certain cultural attractions, for the Committee on Transportation. HB 3577 by Little relating to the creation of a grant program to assist local law enforcement agencies in solving violent and sexual offenses, for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3578 by McLaughlin relating to the authority of a county that borders the United Mexican States to regulate residential land in use, creating a criminal offense, for the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 3579 by Olcott relating to eliminating the requirement for personal skill instruction in public schools, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3580 by McLaughlin relating to renewable energy generation facilities, for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3581 by Dutton relating to the period of redeeming the residence homestead of an elderly person sold at an ad valorem tax sale, for the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3582 by Dutton relating to the private civil cause of action in a public school for the violation of certain student or parental rights, for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 3583 by Dutton relating to the reading instruction, assessment instruments, and interventions provided to public school students, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3584 by Meza relating to carrying a handgun by certain persons between 18 and 21 years of age, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3585 by Richardson relating to the employment policies of and criminal history record information obtained by mental hospitals and mental health facilities and prohibited employment by certain applicants based on criminal history record information, for the Committee on Public Health. HB 3586 by McLaughlin relating to the authority of a taxing taxing unit to enter an agreement under the Property Redevelopment and Tax Abatement Act to be exempt from ad valorem taxation of a portion of the value of the property on which a solar power facility is located or planned to be located. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3587 by McLaughlin relating to firearm safety instruction in public school and certain private schools. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3588 by Campos relating to the parents' rights to consumer protection and the directives of the provisions of healthcare services, providing an administrative penalty. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 3589 by Campos relating to the license and registration regulation of certain groups of home facilities, authorizing a fee, creating an offense. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 3590 by Kerwin relating to the conduct of early voting by certain political subdivisions. Refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 3591 by Kane relating to prohibiting contracts between certain state agencies and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3592 by Phelan relating to the restrictions on political contribution by out-of-state contributors, providing a civil penalty. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3593 by Goodwin relating to the licensing of real estate inspectors. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 3594 by Lujan relating to the administration of a retirement health care program for firefighters and police officers in certain municipalities. Refer to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 3595 by Barry relating to the Emergency Preparedness and Contingency Operations Plan, including temperature regulation for assisted living facility residents during an emergency, providing penalties. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 3596 by Rosenthal relating to the prevention of and safety requirements regarding sudden cardiac arrest affecting public school students participating in interscholastic athletics. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3597 by Hicklin relating to public hearing requirements for issuing a license or expanding certain residential child care facilities. For the Committee on Human Services. HB 3598 by Hicklin relating to prohibiting a child in the conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services from declining a placement. For the Committee on Human Services. HB 3599 by Gerben Hawkins relating to the certification of peer specialists and the peer specialist supervisor for the purpose of Medicaid and mental health and substance use services. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 3600 by De Ayala relating to the creation of additional judicial districts composed of Harris County. Refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 3601 by Lowe relating to the calculation of certain ad valorem tax rates of a taxing unit in the manner in which a proposed ad valorem tax rate that exceeds the voter approval tax rate is approved. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3602 by Louderback relating to the execution of a search warrant for taking the blood specimen of certain persons in certain intoxication offenses. Refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3603 by Toth relating to the admissibility of evidence of extraneous offenses and acts of prosecution of certain family violence offenses. Refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3604 by Morales of Maverick relating to the authority of the Board of Trustees of certain small school districts to decrease the number of trustees on the board. Refer to the Committee of Public Education. HB 3605 by Ordaz relating to the franchise tax credit for taxable entities to employ certain apprentices in broadband utility, engineering, or construction jobs. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3606 by Patterson relating to the exemption from teacher certification examinations for certain persons who graduated from general academic teaching institutions. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3607 by Curry relating to the regulation of deer breeding by Parks and Wildlife Department. Refer to the Committee of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 3608 by Barry relating to the eligibility of municipal solid waste personnel for the Homes of Texas Heroes Home Loan Program. Refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 3609 by Barry relating to the management plans adopted by groundwater conservation districts. Refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 3610 by Patterson relating to the prohibition against the consideration of race or ethnicity as a factor when appointing the members of a state board, commission, or other state agencies within statewide jurisdiction. Refer to the Committee of State Affairs. HB 3611 by Curry relating to the civil penalty for certain signs placed on a right-of-way public of a road. Refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 3612 by Louderback relating to the filing of a petition for truant conduct. Refer to the Subcommittee on Juvenile Justice. HB 3616 by Louderback relating to the number of unexcused absences from the school that can constitute truant conduct or parental contribution to non-attendance of the school and the school district's discretion to refer a student to mandatory truancy court. For the Subcommittee on Juvenile Justice. HB 3614 by Pearson relating to the nurse profiles of certain information concerning nurses maintained on the Texas Board of Nursing Internet website. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 3615 by Schatzline relating to the use of certain public entities of public funds for lobbying and certain other activities. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3616 by Schatzline relating to prohibiting social transitioning assistance to minors by employees of governmental entities, including public schools and healthcare facilities, authorizing civil penalties and loss of school funding. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3617 by Troxclair relating to the creation of an Office of Inspector General for Education at the Texas Education Agency to investigate the administration of public education and required reporting on misconduct by employees of certain educational entities, creating a criminal offense, increasing administrative penalty, authorizing administrative penalty. For the Committee on Public Education. HB 3618 by Troxclair relating to certain searches on female inmates by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. For the Committee on Corrections. HB 3619 by Dean relating to the rights and the liabilities of the owner of the surface estate on the tract of land on which a well can be plugged or replugged by the Railroad Commission of Texas is located. For the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 3620 by PLISA relating to the authority of certain municipalities to use certain tax revenue for certain qualified projects. For the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3621 by Baumgartner relating to certain disclosures and other requirements and prohibited conduct relating to the sale of tickets at concerts and other events. For the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 3622 by Landgraf relating to certain alternative education programs designed for students at risk of dropping out of school. For the Committee on Public Education. HB 3623 by McQueenie relating to a manner of solicitation of bids for certain purchases by a comptroller of public accounts and state agencies. For the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 3624 by PLISA relating to excused absences from public school for a student's mental health or behavioral health. For the Committee on Public Education. HB 3625 by Kane relating to the repealing of the Texas Green Job Skills Development Fund and Green Job Skills Grant Program. For the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 3626 by Holt relating to coroners, including certain states' benefits and awards and memberships on the First Responder Advisory Council. Refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3627 by Tepper relating to the employment of persons by the State Board of Education. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3628 by Villalobos relating to the review and updating of the Texas Water Development Board of guidance principles and rules related to certain plans adopted or approved by the board. Refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 3629 by Noble relating to prohibiting a person required to register as a sex offender from serving as a member of the Board of Trustees of an independent school district. For the Committee on Public Education. HB 3630 by Ashby relating to the authority of a political subdivision to regulate fire prevention standards for certain agricultural families. For the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 3631 by Hunter relating to a credit against required recapture payments for certain school districts for the cost of the windstorm and hail insurance under the public school finance system. Refer to the Committee on Public Education.
HB 3632 by Hayes relating to the timely return of a ballot by mail referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 3633 by Garcia Bear relating to the detention of certain public school student records related to special education. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 3634 by Matt McCaffrey relating to renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3635 by Noble relating to the definition of child abuse, the reporting of child abuse and neglect, and certain required notifications about the reports of child abuse and neglect. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 3636 by Matt Caff relating to the repayment and restitution of by a person released on parole or mandatory supervision. Refer to the Committee on Corrections. HB 3637 by Troxclair relating to the authority of a county commissioner or court to adopt an exemption from ad valorem taxation by each taxing unit that taxes the property for a portion of the appraised value of the person's property that is attributable to the installation in and on the property of certain water conservation systems. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3638 by Troxclair relating to the preference against state resources being used to compete against private commercial sources. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3639 by Vasut relating to the treatment of a patient by a physical therapist without a referral. For the Committee on Public Health. HB 3640 by Lowe relating to the prosecution of the offense committed by a peace officer acting in the course and scope of the officer's official duties. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3641 by Bell of Montgomery relating to the authorities of county to regulate noise levels in residential areas creating criminal offense. Refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 3642 by Hefner relating to the designation of portions of the state highway system as memorial highways and bridges. Refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 3643 by Troxclair relating to the withdrawal of a unit of election for certain metropolitan rapid transit authorities and the net financial obligation of that withdrawal. Refer to the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HB 3644 by Romero relating to the verification of the veteran status of inmates and prisoners. For the Subcommittee on Defense and Veterans Affairs. HB 3645 by Romero relating to the applicability of public information law to information on the toll project entity. For the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HB 3646 by Caprilion relating to the exemption from sales and use of taxes of certain information provided on or behalf of the Homeowners Association. For the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3647 by Oliverson relating to the appeals of order for granting or denying a plea of jurisdiction by a governmental unit of certain circumstances. Or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 3648 by Wally relating to the local control of employment matters of Sheriff's Department employees in certain counties. Or for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 3649 by Diallo relating to the compensation and leave for certain peace officers. Or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3650 by Schoolcraft relating to the service or citation of a deceased person. Or for the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 3651 by LaHood relating to the elective course of automobile maintenance for public school high school students. Or for the Subcommittee on Academic and Career-Oriented Education. HB 3652 by LaHood relating to the study of the Railroad Commission of Texas regarding the creation of strategic gas and petroleum product reserved in the state. For the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 3653 by LaHood relating to the prosecution and punishment of certain trafficking of persons offenses and increasing criminal penalties, changing parole eligibility. For the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3654 by LaHood relating to the automatic orders of non-disclosure criminal history record information on certain criminal defendants. Or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3655 by Alcott relating to the increasing the threshold of voter approval for the school district bond election. Or for the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 3656 by Paul relating to the compensation of the Board of Directors of the Texas School Safety Center for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3657 by Olcott relating to the removal of a public school student from the classroom for engaging in certain misconduct against a school district employee for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3658 by Morgan relating to the continuing education program contents and format relating to the building codes for insurance adjusters for the Committee on Insurance. HB 3659 by Johnson relating to the compensation of a county for certain persons confined in a county jail pending trial for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3660 by Morales of Harris relating to the protective orders prohibiting offenses motivated by bias or prejudice for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3661 by Swanson relating to the regulation of certain political communications, a prohibition on electioneering by school district or open enrollment charges, school officials, employees, and actions and other proceedings by a public school challenging the operations of a public school system, authorizing administrative penalty for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3662 by Caprillion relating to the operation of an unmanned aircraft over a public school instructional facility or for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3663 by Martinez relating to the information required to be posted by the Texas Water Development Board on the board's internet website regarding the use of the State Water Implementation Fund for Texas for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 3664 by Smithy relating to the training of prospective grand jurors and the grand jury proceedings or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3665 by Harris relating to increasing criminal penalty for the offense of assault committed against certain public servants in the prosecution of the offense of the interface with public duties of those public servants or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 3666 by King relating to the global professional standards of internal auditing or for the Committee of Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 3667 by Bernal relating to the time allowed for the issuance of a permit or license or for the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 3668 by Howard relating to the reauthorization of a statewide referendum allowing voters to indicate a preference of whether an additional restriction on abortion access should be repealed or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3669 by Gann relating to the definition of firearm for the purposes of creating criminal offenses or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3670 by Isaac relating to the access of a catalog for the public school library materials for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3671 by Cook relating to the dissolution of Tarrant County Municipal Utility District Number 2 or for the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 3672 by Ashby relating to the creation of extracurricular community education grant program or for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3673 by Cook relating to the issuance of provisional occupational license of certain applicants with criminal convictions or for the Committee of Corrections. HB 3674 by Lowe relating to the person who may request an Attorney General opinion for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3675 by Cook relating to the consideration of criminal history of applicants for public employment for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3676 by Guillen relating to the prioritization of award grants and loans for the Energy Fund for certain electric vehicles, facilities, or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3677 by Tepper relating to the issuance of occupational license for certain out-of-state applicants or for the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 3678 by Lopez Cameron relating to the route destination of issuance of a permit for the movement of an oversized and overweight vehicles to certain counties or for the Committee on Transportation. HB 3679 by Tepper relating to the operation of certain vehicles proceeding during and following disasters or for the Committee on Transportation. HB 3680 by Gomez relating to the subdivision plat requirements in certain counties or for the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 3681 by Lowe relating to the requiring certain public and private employees in the state to participate in federal electronic verification of employment authorizations or e-verify and notice regarding certain persons whose eligibility to work in the United States cannot be verified before the Committee on State Affairs. HB 3682 by Luther relating to the diagnosis, maintenance, and repair of digital electronic equipment for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 3683 by Frank relating to the student's eligibility to participate in the financial aid for a SWIFT transfer program for the Committee on Higher Education. HB 3684 by Caprillion relating to the exclusion of certain securities transaction payments for the total revenue of taxable entities that exchange for a member or in exchange for the purposes of the franchise task or for the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 3685 by Leo Wilson relating to the notice of a possible eligibility for residential homestead exemption from ad valorem taxation provided by a home buyer by a title insurance company or a title insurance agent in connection with the closing of a statement or purchase of a residential real property for the Committee on Insurance. HB 3686 by Harless relating to the information included on the identification card issued by certain retired peace and law enforcement officers for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3687 by Harless relating to the certification requirements for a fire marshal and any related employee, officer, inspector, and investigator appointed by the county and emergency service district for the subcommittee on county and regional government. HB 3688 by Smithy relating to the issuance of anticipation notes and certificates of obligation for the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 3689 by Hunter relating to the funds of excess losses and operating expenses of the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association for the Committee on Insurance. HB 3690 by Isaac relating to the review of library materials included in public school libraries or providing a civil penalty for the Committee on Public Education. HB 3691 by Ward Johnson relating to the electronic submission of an application for an early voting ballot by mail of certain persons for the Committee on Elections. HB 3692 by Morales and Maverick relating to the additional state aid for school districts for the provision of certain pre pre-kindergarten classes for the Committee on Public Education, HB 3693, by order relating to the authority of certain municipalities to certain tax revenue for a certified qualified project, for the Committee on Ways and Means, HB 3694, by Raymond relating to the unlawful production or distribution of sexually explicit media and removal of certain intimate visual depictions published on online platforms without the consent of a person depicted, refer the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence, HB 3695, by order relating to the co-payments required by the Health Maintenance Organization or preferred provider health benefit plan visiting physical therapists, for the Committee on Insurance. HB 3696 by Wally, relating to the provisions by railroad companies of the hazardous material incident trainings to certain fire and emergency medical personnel and peace officers, for the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 3697 by Cortez, relating to the text on an application for the ballot to be voted by mail and other balloting materials, or for the Committee on Elections. HB 3698 by vote, relating to the participation in reemployment services at condition of eligibility for unemployment benefits, or for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 3699 by vote, relating to the initial claims under the unemployment compensation system, or for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 3700 by vote, relating to the detection and prevention of fraud, waste, and abuse in all of Texas Workforce Commission programs, or for the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HCR 122 by Garen, relating to authorizing the Lieutenant Governor and Speaker to appoint joint committees, or for the Committee on House Administration. SB 4 by Betancourt, relating to increasing the amount of exemption from residential homesteads and ad valorem taxation by a school district and protection of the school districts against certain losses in local revenue, or for the Committee on Ways and Means. SB 5 by Huffman, relating to the creation of Dementia Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, for the Committee on Public Health. SB 10 by King, relating to the display of 10 Commandments in public school classrooms, for the Committee on Public Education. SB 19 by Middleton, relating to the use of political subdivision for public funds of lobbying and certain other activities, or for the Committee on State Affairs. SB 25 by Colcourse, relating to the health and nutrition standards to promote healthy living, authorizing a penalty, or for the Committee of Public Health. SJR 1 by Huffman, proposing constitutional amendment requiring the denial of bail for illegal alien charged with an offense punishable as a felony, or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. SJR 3 by Huffman, proposing constitutional amendment providing the establishment of the Dementia Prevention and Research Institution of Texas, establishing the Dementia Prevention and Research Fund to provide money for the research on and prevention of and treatment of dementia and related disorders in the state, and transferring that fund to $3 billion from the state general revenue, or for the Committee on Public Health. SJR 5 by Huffman, proposing constitutional amendment authorizing denial of bail, limited circumstances to person accused of certain violent or sexual offenses of continuous trafficking of a person, for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. SJR 18 by Perry, proposing constitutional amendment prohibiting the imposition of a tax on unrealized or realized capital gains of an individual, family, estate, or trust, or for the Committee on Ways and Means. SJR 34 by Hughes, proposing constitutional amendment protecting the rights of a child to raise their children, or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. The following resolutions are being referred to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars. HR 622 by King, HR 623 by Lujan, HR 624 by White, Davis, and Dallas. The following resolutions by Turner are being referred to the Committee of Local and Consent Calendars. HR 625 through HR 629, HR 630 by Darby, and HR 631 by Ashby.
Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday.